Hello, good day. How are you today? You're good, right? Okay. Are you ready for today's lesson? You are? That is good. Today in mathematics, we are going to be looking at area and perimeter of rectangle and square. Okay? Our topic for today in mathematics is on area and perimeter of rectangle and square. So are we ready for the lesson? We are with our books and our pencils or pen to get into today's lesson, right? Okay, that is good. So to get the perimeter and area of a square and rectangle, there's a formula we use. Okay, there's a formula to get this. What do we mean by perimeter? The perimeter is the total distance of all the sides of the square and rectangle, of all the sides of the closed plane. Okay, then the area is the amount of space a plane covers. Do you understand? So when looking for the perimeter and area of a square and rectangle, we use formula. Remember, the square, all four sides are equal, and the rectangle, the opposite sides are equal. To get the perimeter of a square is 4 times L. 4 times the length, the side length, okay? 4 times the length. And to get the area of a square is side length times side length. Remember, the square, all sides are equal. So if you have here as 6, here is also 6, here is also 6, here is also 6. Do you understand? All sides are equal. Okay? So to get the distance from this length to this other length to this other length is 4 times L. And to get the area of this shape, this square, to get the amount of space it covers is side length times side length, okay? L times L. Now moving to the formula for a rectangle. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2 bracket open L plus W bracket close. This is the length, this is the width. So 2 bracket open L plus W bracket close. Then to get the area of a rectangle is L times W, length times width, length times width. Okay? So this is the formula used to get the perimeter and area of a rectangle, and this is the formula used to get the perimeter and area of a square. Do not confuse both, okay? We're going to be looking at some examples to help us understand better using this formula. Let's start with the square. The perimeter and area of a square. A square with a side length of 5 cm. Calculate the perimeter and area. Remember the formula for the perimeter, 4 times L or 4 times side length, okay? Here the side length is 5 cm. So 4 times 5. We imputed 5 as the side length because here the question, the length is 5 cm. So 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is going to give us 20. So we have 20 cm. Okay? Now to get the area of this square that has the side length of 5 cm, remember the formula for the area of a square, side length times side length, which is 5 times 5. All sides of the square are equal, so every side is 5 cm. Yet to get the area is side length times side length, which is 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is going to give us what? 25 cm square. When calculating the area of any shape, the unit is always in square, okay? Centimeter square if it's meter, meter square. Okay? The unit is always squared. So a square that has the side length of 5 cm, the perimeter is 20 cm and the area is 25 cm square. Do you understand? Now let's look at another example. Now let's take a square with a side length of 8 meters. Calculate the perimeter and area. Remember the formula, we're going to be using the formula, okay? The perimeter of a square is equal to 4 times side length, and here the side length is 8 meters. So we are going to input 8. So 4 times 8. 4 times 8 is going to give us 32. So we have 32 meters. The perimeter of a square that the side length is 8 meters, the perimeter is 32 meters, okay? The area of a square, to get it, is side length times side length, which here we have the side length as 8 meters, so we have 8 times 8. 8 times 8 is going to give us 64, so we have 64 meters squared. Remember, area is always in the units, is always squared. So we have 64 meters squared, okay? So I'm sure by now we're able to find the perimeter of a square and area of a square, right? Good. Imagine a square garden with a side length of 3 meters. Find the perimeter and area. I'm sure you're going to be able to do this on your own. You use the formula. The perimeter of a square is 4 times side length. So we have 4 times 3. The side length here is 3. So we have 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is going to give us 12. So we have 12 meters. And to get the area, we have gotten the perimeter. To get the area, we use the formula side length times side length. The side length here is 3. So 3 times 3 is going to give us what? 9, correct. 9 meters squared. So a square garden with a side length of 3 meters, the perimeter is 12 meters and the area is 9 meters squared. Okay? It's easy, right? It's just for you to know the formulas and apply it. You will arrive at the correct answer. Okay? So we now know how to find the perimeter and area of a square, right? Now let's look at the perimeter and area of a rectangle. A rectangle with length of 7 meters and a width of 4 meters. Calculate the perimeter and area. To get the perimeter of a rectangle, you remember the formula, 2 brackets open, L plus W brackets close. So we are going to input our numbers into this formula. So we have 2 brackets open, L here, which is the length, is 7 meters. So you write 7 plus the width here is 4 meters. So you write 4. Okay, so you deal with the bracket first. 7 plus 4 is going to give us what? If you add 7 and 4. It's going to give us 11. So we have 2 bracket open, 11 bracket close. So 2 times 11 is going to give us 22. So we have 22 meters. Okay. Now to get the area of the rectangle, to get the area of the rectangle is L times W, right? This is the formula. So L here is 7, you put 7. W is 4, you put 4. 7 times 4 is going to give us 28, right? So 28 meters squared. Remember, area is always in square. The unit is always squared. So a rectangle with the side length of 7 meters and the width of 4 meters. The perimeter is 22 meters. The total distance of all the sides is 22 meters. And the area is 28 meters squared. The amount of space this rectangle that has this length of 7 meters and the width of 4 meters, the amount of space it occupies is 28 meters squared. Okay? Do you understand? Let's look at another example. Consider a rectangular table with a length of 8 cm and a width 2 cm. Calculate the perimeter and area. The formula to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 bracket open L plus W bracket close. So L here, which is the length, we have 8 cm, and the width we have 2 cm. So we input our numbers into the bracket. So we have 2 bracket open, L is 8, we input 8 plus W is 2, you put 2. You deal with the bracket. 8 plus 2 is going to give you what? 10, right? So you have 2 bracket open, 10 bracket close. 2 times 10 is going to give you 20. So you have 20 centimeter. The perimeter is 20 centimeter. Then the area, to get the area of the rectangle, is L times W. You remember the formula, right? L here, which is the length, is 8 centimeter. You put 8. W, which is the width, is 2 times 2. So 8 times 2 is going to give you what? 16, right? So you have 16 centimeter square. Okay? Do you understand? So a rectangular table that have the length of 8 centimeter and the width of 2 centimeter, the perimeter of that rectangular table is 20 centimeter. The total distance of all the sides is 20 centimeter. And the area of that rectangular table, the space it occupies, is 16 centimeter square. Okay? Hope you are not confused. Now let's take a rectangle with a length of 10 meters and width of 3 meters. Calculate the perimeter and area. Find the perimeter and area. Remember the formula? 2 brackets open L plus W brackets close. We have L as 10 and W as 3. So we input our numbers into the formula. We have 2 brackets open, L is 10 plus W is 3, bracket close. You deal with the bracket. 10 plus 3 is going to give us 13. So we have 2 brackets open, 13 bracket close. So 2 times 13 is going to give us 26 meters. So the perimeter is 26 meters. Now to find the area, we use the formula. You remember the formula, L times W. L here is 10 and W is 3, so 10 times 3. 10 times 3 is going to give us what? 30 meters square. So a rectangle with a length of 10 meters and a width of 3 meters, the perimeter, the total distance of all the sides, is 26 meters. And the amount of space it occupies, the area of the rectangle, is 30 meters square. Okay? Do you understand? So I'm sure by now we're able to use the formulas to find the perimeter and area of a rectangle and square. So today's lesson, we understood everything we looked at, right? Area and perimeter of rectangle and square. We looked at the formulas and we have used the formulas to solve different questions. So we understood everything on today's lesson, right? Okay, that is good. So next we are going to be looking at our assignment. I'm sure we're going to be able to do the assignment, right? It's easy. So keep on practicing. Practice makes perfect. So keep on practicing and you'll be able to do more, okay? Good.